More often than not, when you race every single weekend, there's going to be some untypical things that happen during NASCAR races. Things that nobody could see coming or nobody expect in their wildest dreams. Just imagine telling yourself during the Martinsville playoff race one year that the pace car would just stop working. Well, it actually happened, and it was during the 2023 playoff race at Martinsville.
Looks like we might have an issue with our pace car.
Yeah, it's pulled up to the top of the racetrack, and now it's starting to move here. I'm not sure exactly what was going on. They're struggling to get the car to move. We have the cleanup truck pacing the front of the field, so we have that under control. Can they not just push it with another truck? Or?
It's a good-looking car.
We're going to put it on display,
Marty.
Rick, you got to love the Martinsville fans. They're literally in 1 and 2 cheering the tow truck about to tow the pace car. That's a new one, isn't it?
Yeah, it just pulls up to the top. I don't know.
And these drivers are they're trying to figure out what to do because they have to follow the pace car.
And Chase is like, I don't want to pass you. Right. I don't think I'm allowed to stop right here.
More untypical moments happen during playoff races. I don't know why, but it just happens. Just like when Joey Gase, even a non-playoff driver, had his wheel come off at a 1.5 mile racetrack. This is something that does not happen from a week-to-week basis. This was just a crazy accident that Joey Gase was involved in.
Big hit. He'll hit the inside wall, but the back of that car almost completely gone for Joey Gase.
Oh, the left rear tire. Yeah. Left rear tire come off the car. Wow.
I will never understand how the spotter did not help Michael McDowell in this clip. Michael McDowell hits the back of a safety truck under caution. It's like he had no idea that the safety truck was there and just hit the back of it. This is still something crazy that happened. Something crazy that also happens from time to time is NASCAR being consistent. Wait, that's not right. Sorry. That's something definitely not typical. NASCAR being inconsistent is always normal. Regardless, NASCAR still does not know when to throw the caution flag. And just watch this clip when they did not throw the caution.
16 is locked on really good to Grant Enfinger right there.
Oh, and he bails.
Oh, and now Enfinger's going around.
No caution yet.
No caution yet.
We've stayed green as Enfinger comes to a stop, and Eckes is out front. Christian Eckes.
Tanner Gray in second.
And the 14 of Hutchins is around now, but still green.
Wrecking on a straightaway happens in about every race. Somebody will hit the wall, spin out. But what about wrecking hitting the wall because they turned right down a straightaway? I will never understand this one from Brandon Jones.
Little speedy dry, and Brandon Jones hits the wall.
Wow.
Hang on to it.
Tyler Reddick in the 9 also with an issue.
Keep it up there.
Caution coming out again.
And Hemrick moved away to try to prevent the side draft, and then the 19 went to try to side draft. Next thing you know, he was sideways. I don't think I've ever seen that before, Junior. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't. I haven't seen anything.
Brandon Jones may have a severe lack of wins in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, but this is the icing on the cake of an embarrassing moment.
And now a caution on the racetrack. Tyler Reddick and Chase Briscoe both involved in this one.
Try to stay in the gas here so we
Huge
don't
hit
get stuck
by
down
that
the water.
98 on the
Stay in
inside
the gas,
wall.
stay in the gas.
You see how shortened up the nose of that car is.
Right now, just 2 cars that we see involved. And a big
Try to roll
hit.
forward.
Catch more cars. Justin Allgaier had a front row seat that he didn't want.
And what a crazy ride for Briscoe. Just sitting there minding your own business, thinking everything's fine. Next thing you know, you're pointing in the wrong direction.
You see the damage to that left rear tire. That didn't happen right away, right? That rolled flat for quite some time.
It was clearly out of control going over the track.
Oh, yeah, the left rear's flat.
Yeah, it's soft.
You can see the wrinkle in the left rear sidewall. The 2 of Tyler Reddick has a flat left rear tire. He's out of control. It looks like he's turning right, but he's chasing the back of the car up the racetrack, trying to not spin out. And in the end, Chase Briscoe absolutely in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
How many times does it take for drivers to realize on restarts you cannot full send it in from 15th place and take the lead? This will never happen. It never has and never will work. Even in the Xfinity Series, drivers still try to send it in, getting into each other and crashing mid-pack. This just causes more chaos and more accidents.
Oh, we got one back around.
Jake Buford's going to go around in the 07. It looks like he had some help. They stack up behind him.
Goodness.
Big wreck behind him.
This Allmendinger got a lot of spots right there.
Keep rolling. Let's get around these guys.
I know he has a lot of ground to make up. But the battle for the lead.
Cedric to the outside. Brandon Jones on the inside. Brandon Jones blocking, moves out. Now through turn 4, the kink.
Will the 22 try to break him into this corner?
How
to the outside again.
Tries the outside. Can he make the pass?
If he can just stay on the outside, he'll have the preferred line for this next corner.
That is so impressive to be able to drive in the corner.
Oh, and he gets bumped from behind by the 78. Around goes the 3 on the restart. The 24 of Chase Elliott also around. Hard contact by Austin Dillon. Also caught up. The 44 of Brian Scott.
That's real nice.
You see right there, the 78 gets underneath the back of the 3, trying to push him. You see the 11, it pushed the 48 hard enough to knock the 48 out of his line as well. How much damage is on the 18?
Something that's very untypical are racetracks nowadays not having safer barriers. It is a necessity that all tracks need to have safer barriers. And unfortunately, Ryan Blaney found the one spot on the track last year that did not have a safer barrier. He hit hard at Nashville after a crash on the restart. Thankfully, Blaney was okay after this vicious impact.
You need to know the Gibbs car's on the front row. That is for the lead of the race.
Going back to the restart zone. Again, race leader Martin Truex Jr. First into the gas.
Contact!
The 6 falling back quickly.
Big crash back here.
Here comes Blaney around. Kyle Busch going in. Will they miss the wall? A close call there. Blaney may have gotten into he did hard into the inside wall.
Couldn't steer the car away from the direction it was going. I don't think there's anything Blaney could have done to change where this car was headed.
Yeah, that all started way ahead of him, and right there, that is such a massive
You
hit.
have to wonder how that stacked up, everything here. Kyle Busch gets in the back of the 12 and turns him around. Yeah, I mean, he just...
Great run out in Iowa in the nationwide car. Getting a little momentum going. Oh!
Whoa! Around he goes.
Whoa, no, big hit. Oh, no.
That started way back over in the middle of 1 and 2.
Unbelievable. Wasn't expecting that.
Darryl.
Sorry, guys.
20.
Oh, trouble for the 48.
Oh, my gosh.
Blew it right front, I think.
I think you're right.
Big hit.
You all right, boss?
Red flag.
Man, that thing just shot right.
The tire looked up to me. What was that? Something, maybe a suspension component or something broke in that right front.
I don't know. The tire looks.
No, the tire is down.
Is it down? It's soft. I think it's sitting on the splitter, and we can't see how.
Jimmy has radioed in. He's okay.
Going, and then just all at once.
What in the world? I just can't imagine what turned that thing straight in the wall. I mean, that was 3/4 of the way through the corner.
Wide open in the throttle right there. Back in the gas.
Now, after it took off, he locked the brake, locked up the left front all the way to the wall.
What's his thing? Just all of a sudden, she
can tell it's not really turning. Something's, yeah. I mean, to me, that's like something the steering broke.
Well, you know, but Jeff, if you watch the car, it got a little wee bit loose. You reckon that when he corrected, he just didn't have time to get it bowed up?
No, he could have still.
During a qualifying session in 2015, Jimmy Johnson hits the wall extremely hard at Phoenix. Something apparently broke on the steering column, forcing Johnson to go almost head-on into the wall. Even at short tracks, hits like this still hurt. This is a huge impact for 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson. Thankfully, he was okay and was able to continue the race in the following day. This has to be a once-in-a-lifetime thing that it's only happened once or maybe 2 times. The pace car gets blocked in and is not able to pull out and pace the field because the car that brought out the caution is blocking it in. This has to be the most untypical moment for a pace car ever.
Greg Biffle is the lucky dog. He'll come around and be the 33rd car on the lead lap.
I'm telling you, Stewart's bored. When you start bump drafting the pace car, he's looking for some fun.
Pace car driver Brett Bodine.
Smiling.
Oh, yeah, he's having a big time.
NASCAR has asked Tony to back off a little bit, and he did. Is he trying to make Brett loose? Is that what he's trying to do?
He was trying. It would have been done. I think he's trying to scratch the paint job.
Oh, don't do that.
Hey, some of those Tony Stewart fans would love to buy a Corvette. Tony Stewart.
Right. And they wouldn't fix the damage either, would they?
You know, this 20 crew has held service all day. He's gone in with the lead. He comes out with...
Greg, what happened?
I tore my rear bumper cover off. You know, I had to come in and had to go to the tail end of the longest line. And, you know, he did, you know, he said, obviously he didn't do it on purpose, but he ran into the back of my car and tore the thing off. I have to look back and see what happened, but, you know, we drove all the way back to 10th from the back of the pack. And we were one of the only cars that could do that. And it just frustrates me how good my car finally was at Martinsville. And, you know, we have to come out of here 10th, you know, driving from the back all the way on the last run of the day. So that was pretty frustrating. We passed a lot of guys, you know, to get there, but it was a good run.
What'd you tell him when you first went to him?
I told him I wasn't very happy with that. And, you know, he knows I wasn't very happy out there racing on the racetrack, but that's the way it goes.
You see Austin Cindric doing a great job driving in the mirror, doing his block. A quick move on the outside with Denny Hamlin.
Here comes the Ford to his inside. LaJoy, there'd be pushes on both sides. Custer goes to the outside, and they crash. Hamlin gets turned into the wall. Oh, my gosh. Still green. Trying to let the leaders race back. Here they come. Still green. It's off. It could be a two-time winner here. William Byron. Nemechek, Reddick. Off turn 4 and to the flag. Checker is waving, and William Byron has won the 500 for the second year in a row.
As William Byron is doing burnouts in the infield after celebrating his second Daytona 500 win in a row, it was heartbreaking for Austin Cindric and Denny Hamlin, who had two of the most dominant cars in the 2025 Daytona 500. These two drivers looked to be the ones contending for the victory, and they were. Up until Cole Custer, Hamlin, Briscoe, and Cindric would all get together, crashing the entire field down the backstretch. Loopholes are not new in NASCAR, and especially back in the early 2000s, teams were trying to find the advantage over one another when NASCAR was at peak competitiveness. And Jeff Burton, during the All-Star race, found one of the coolest strategies I've ever seen. Burton's pit stall was right before the start-finish line, and in the All-Star race, you had to make a mandatory green flag pit stop. So what does Burton do? He does make a mandatory green flag pit stop at the very last second because his pit box was right in front of the start-finish line. So he wasn't able to finish the stage until after he made his pit stop. It was a pretty genius move, and I'm pretty sure it was banned after this.
We didn't miss something, did we? I don't think. Steve Park and Mike Wallace have lost touch with the pack. So it's between Ward Burton, Ryan Newman, and Jeff Burton pretty much as to which other driver does not advance to segment 2.
Well, he's got to come to pit road this time. He's down on the bottom of the racetrack. He's not coming.
Darrell, what if your pit was before the start-finish line, you pitted on the last lap, and you only had to jump across the line?
Yeah, because the start-finish line goes all the way across the road. That's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do.
That's what I'm trying to say right now. They're on a strategy move right here to make that pit and just go across the start-finish line, and they'll be good.
Wow, this is either crazy or brilliant.
We'll see here in just a second.
Here he comes.
All right, he's coming to pit road now. And he has a 26-second lead on Jimmy Johnson.
Here it comes, guys.
How about that?
And what he'll have to move about 50 yards to cross the start-finish line. Dick Berggren. Well, here comes Burton now. Let's see if that's in fact what he's going to do. It's going to be a 4-tire change mandatory. Frank Sauter just calmly sits on top of the box. His crew chief watching all this go on. No fuel. Of course, they don't need it. They don't have to go very far. Burton now slow in the left rear. Here he goes.
Ford, Steve Park, and Mike Wallace will be headed home at the end of segment 1.
But now we'll have to check with scoring because our monitor's showing 41 laps. This was a 40-lap heat.
Now he's back up to Jeff Burton's second.
Now things have been reordered. Jeff Burton slips across the line. He is second to Jimmy Johnson.
I have got to tip my hat to Frank Stoddard. I can't wait to see him after this race regardless, because that was a brilliant call.
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Pit before the start-finish line, so when you make your mandatory stop, you only have to go 200 feet. How about that? There he is.
How'd you come up with that, Frank?
Well, you know, we didn't have a whole lot of stuff to do today, and the clutch is slipping, and we won that race right there. But I don't know. We just thought about it. You know, all the guys got together. We wanted to come up with something different here, see if we couldn't get something out of them, and I almost pulled off a win right there if the clutch wasn't slipping.
It's the Winston. Something different always happens. This time, Stoddard snookered him, Mike.
Well, guess what? Next year, there'll be a rule against that.
Better believe it. So, along with the 4 cars that crashed, Sterling Marlin, Bobby Hamilton, Dale Jarrett, and Rusty Wallace, Ward Burton, Steve Park, and Mike Wallace will go to the house.
Jeff Burton and Frank Stoddard, amazing pace. They came across the line at 45 miles an hour to finish second. You don't see that anywhere else.